Hey y'all, welcome back to Healing Gardens. My name is Kim. I want to dedicate this video to Lucas. He was a little man that came to my market and just blessed me because he wanted to start his own garden. So we hooked him up and hopefully he's doing well. Lucas, if you have any questions, ask me in the comments. Let's get into this video. I am so excited to give you this tour of the garden right now. It is busting out everywhere. We've had a lot of rain and it is just gorgeous. I am so pleased and excited. It seems like our grasshoppers have drowned and with all the rain. And so I'm excited about that too, because I haven't had to cover anything with insect netting yet. Here we are, the middle of May, and I have not had any significant insect damage. So we're going to start off with our little nursery. I'm glad you're here, and let's get into this tour. First, I have a Roselle Hibiscus Sabrodifa. The can and placing a little fence around there. This is some wild wandering plant, and I'm going to pot it up into these pots, take it to market. And here's our nursery. We have pecan trees. We have some of the wild wandering plants. One of them is blooming. This came in a pot from a friend of mine, and it has just kind of taken over and spread itself around. We've got some mint. We've got our fig tree. Another fig coming in very slowly, comparatively. Our pecan trees we dug up last year at my nephew's are doing great. We've got some tomatoes, and I haven't been home for a few days, so all the cleanup and trimming hasn't been done. I bought this from a friend at the market. Look at that. We got some beautiful ground cherries. I don't eat them, but my neighbor does, so I give them to her. We've got 3 good-looking elderberries. This was an attempt at planting strawberry runners, and it appears to have failed. This is our mullein. I dug this up and transplanted it here. And then I also have a tomato that has volunteered. Is our red mustard that seeded itself last year, and then it reseeded. And then a tomato's in here. I thought there was a dill, but he might have got smothered out. All of my brassicas are getting trimmed and cut out today after this video. So here's an elderberry, I believe. And I planted some basil and marjoram in here. And I've got to come back and mulch that pot. This is our beautiful blackberry that I got from the spring fling. And I don't know if I can get a close-up of that, but it is making blackberries. It did not slow down for a second being transplanted. I put these in here. Those are just a ornamental vine. Another one over here. And they won't steal much from the blackberry. So I'm just going to leave those in there. And then I put a couple basil. I've got a Genovese basil and a Thai basil. I'm sorry, that's not Thai basil. That's lemon. Lemon basil. I can't wait till it gets a little bigger, then I'll start pinching it for tea. So our onion bed, this onion bed is doing great. I say bed, it's a pot. This onion pot is doing great, but as we get further into the tour, you'll see that some of them are not doing so great. Okay, so then I needed more room for things. So I've got St. John's wort, gomphrena. Those are the slowest growing plants, I tell you. They must either like it hot or like it cooler. I don't know. This is all lemon basil in this pot. That's a little, what is that? Oh gosh, I don't even know. Yeah, that's a dill. That is yarrow. This is an oregano pot. And this is peach. Peachy. Miss Peachy. I don't know, when we moved her, it seems like I can't find the peach, so we may have lost the one peach that she had. But next year, I feel like she's going to get some serious care this fall. So what I'm going to do, you can see she's in a pot. What I'm going to do is cut the bottom of the pot off, and I'm going to stack it in a new pot, new soil, and elevate her so she'll be a little happier. And I'm going to give her a hard trim. So that's Miss Peachy. Okay, so we have lavender that has not done anything yet, blooming wise. We have this lavender that is blooming. And I have some zinnia, some petunias. Mint is doing really well. This was a transplant mint. This is a volunteer squash. And we'll find out what that is when it starts blooming. And then our climbing noodle beans. They haven't taken off yet. This pot has some pole beans. It had brassicas, or broccolini and broccoli rabe. I harvested a little bit, but I never did get that much. And then I popped in some zinnias, and this little dwarf tomato is, well, I lost the name, but it seems to be happy. It's a micro dwarf, so it's not going to get huge. Here are the onions in this pot are doing great, but you can see because of the rain, some of our tops are dying before the bulbs have time to bulb up, and these are actually kind of squishy. So I'm letting these dry out for a while before I even think about watering, because that soil is very moist. Rosemary is doing really good. This is a little pepper plant. Little pepper plant is hanging in there, and hopefully will take off. This is our asparagus and our comfrey. I also planted in some marjoram in here. I'm going to trim back this comfrey. And when I come out and trim everything else. Okay, so here is one onion bed. So 2 of these pots apparently got hit by wind and blew over the onions. And once they blow over and their necks are broken and they're laying down, they are not going to send any more life into the plant. And then I'll come back and pull these. This bed pot is our green mustard leaf, and it is getting ready to bolt. Some of it has already bolted, and so it's all getting cut down to the ground, harvested, and I'm going to cook all my greens down. What I've been doing is cooking the greens down and eating some of them, and then putting the rest in a freezer bag. And when I get enough, I will fire up the canner, and I'm going to can them in half-pint jars, which is a perfect size for me. And since I live alone and eat alone, that's what I'm going to do. So I've already underplanted this with basil and Swiss chard. So as soon as this come out, the basil and Swiss chard can take over this whole bed. Pot. Such a bad habit saying bed. It's not a bed. I don't want to confuse y'all. It's a giant mineral tub. I have about 36 of these. And then we also have our sugar snap peas. And they are doing great. With this plant or plants and then the one in the other pot, I'm getting 2 handfuls a day. So I eat them fresh, raw in the morning usually. And then I come back and cook some in a stir fry in the evening. So, I mean, a lot. They're just, I don't know how they can produce that many. This pot is a bunch of different stuff. And you can see our onions are all breaking over from the wind. We got a big gust of wind that came through, and I came out after the storm and they were all laid down like that. So, not really impressed with that pot, the onions. I'm going to harvest all these. I'm just going to chop them all up and throw them in the dehydrator, and we'll make an onion powder or whatever, chopped onion blend. So we also have Swiss chard, which we'll be able to take over when the onions aren't smothering them. And we also have some cilantro, which of course is trying to go to seed. This time of year is the time of year for that to go to seed. Here, this is one of my favorite pots, but you can tell my oregano is suffering a little bit of fungal mess because of all the rain that we've had. You can see little spots on it. So when I get done with this video and I come in to trim everything, I will go through these with a fine-tooth comb, and anything that has those spots, I'll give them a really heavy trim and then let them come back fresh and new and not drowned. And then here, our sage. Now, I didn't trim this the last time I trimmed, so it's had time to flush back pretty good, but I will trim it today because we're getting warm, and I really feel like all of my herbs are going to grow exponentially over the next few weeks, which is great because I need my fresh herbs for my market. Isn't that lovely? Okay, and then on the other side of the fence, we have okra. So we're going to cover this cardboard with wood chips or that hydrofiber. And then in that can is another Roselle hibiscus sabrodifa. Blueberry. This is from this year, so I didn't really expect much. And Thai basil or Greek basil. This is cinnamon basil. And this is Miss Blueberry. She's very happy this year. And I already have the insect netting ready. If I see one grasshopper within 100 miles, I will be covering this up because I do not want to lose my blueberries to a grasshopper. These are my garlic, and I don't really feel like they're getting the best life ever. And I'm kind of debating whether I should pull them and repurpose that pot right away or let them go on for a few more weeks. We have to think about that. This is our beast of sugar snap peas. I just picked last night and I thought I got all of them, but look at this. There's probably 20 or 30 more. I've thought about blanching them, put them in the freezer, and then do a stir fry later. That's our grapevine. It's doing amazing. I did not expect the sugar snap peas to be so abundant this year. The plants have gone crazy, and as you can see, we got some damage down at the bottom from being so wet, so it won't, just a matter of time and it'll be out of there. I would say probably within 3 weeks, and then the grapevine will have the whole pot and the trellis. And then here is another herb bed. We've got rosemary, sage, yuck. We got cilantro, we've got dill. I need to get some of the cilantro out because it's bolting. And then I'm going to plant more cilantro in there. Sorry. Parsley. That is our sunchoke. We had one sunchoke that made it, so that's good. And here is our big onion bed. And as you can see, they are not super happy. They have been waterlogged, and some of them are bolting, which I'm going to pull those and dry those with the others. And this is English thyme. No, marjoram. Why does that say marjoram? These are English thyme. Those are English thyme. And they're very happy in that pot. There's our iris that have done no blooming yet. I still have hope for them. And this. Let's see if we can back up enough to look at this. It is this bush cucumber doesn't seem very bushy to me. It seems more like a regular cucumber. And I've got a trellis out there for it. I don't know if that's going to be enough. See, we got cucumber on the ground, but we've got babies in there. Look at, so cute. And then our strawberries took a hit with all the water, so they're not doing great. This is Orange Hat, and it is a micro dwarf. Kale. We've been harvesting that regularly and putting that in our greens that we eat every day or every other day. We have lemon basil and parsley. So more strawberries. We do have some good spinach in here somewhere that I'm gonna clip and eat for lunch. Some English thyme and our Swiss chard. I don't eat a lot of traditional veggies like tomatoes, peppers, stuff like that, but what I can eat, I am planting as much as I can possibly plant. And here, and so we have collards. They're coming to the end of their time. And look at that basil down there. She's just doing beautifully. Marjoram. And I was supposed to have a stevia plant somewhere in here, but it never came to fruition, so yeah. Isn't that fun? A lot of food in one planter. And this is where Miss Peachy was, and I planted some squash seeds in there. We'll see if they come up. And there's a cherry tomato plant. And this is the sweet potato bed, which is videos are a little backwards right now. So the tour is going to go up before you see me actually planting my sweet potatoes, but they're very happy. I've got a few more empty spots to put some more in, and then I'm done. And there is chamomile, and it seems to be very happy. This onion pot is doing great. I don't know, you can tell how big these are, but they are huge. I come in, and this is just a little, and remove the soil from around the onion. Not remove it really, but just fluff it up so that they can see how these are so close together. I'll probably harvest this one and then and eat it on my salad. So you just keep coming and fluffing them up. See, I've already done this one pretty good. And this one, he's down deep. So, but yeah, that helps them grow big. They don't have any resistance in the soil. And that's very important for big onions. And then this is our garlic chives. I've been harvesting that and dehydrating that. And this is our mallow, and apparently it's going to go to seed this year, which is fine with me because it is a beast. Here with my red cabbage that has not begun to head out yet. And then we have this nut grass, and I'm going to leave it. Who knows? I might find a tiger nut at the bottom that I could actually eat. And this tomato is the one that survived our winter sowing experiment. Doing really well. I don't know if you can tell how big it is, but it is nice. I've got basil in there and dill and all that. A nasturtium came up. The whole section of my garden is brand new, except for the pots. So we have more onions, and we have greens, which those are going to go in the pot today. We have an elderberry. I had something planted here, and the other day it got too dry. So I don't know what it was even. And I think it was gomphrena. But I don't know if it'll come back. We'll wait. This is Cosmos. And that is our elderberry. And we've got some lemon basil in pots. Basil in the ground. And an eggplant. That is an eggplant in there. And then we have amaranth. And our great onion experiment. We've got a pecan tree. And some sweet potato slips making in the pecan pot. Then we've got a tomato and marigold and basil. And the same on the other end. A tomato, marigold, basil. And we'll go in there. This is my Vitex. Just found out it's medicinal, so I'll be harvesting some of that this year. Here's some more pots. Tomatoes for sale. Making slips. And making slips here. Some more tomatoes. She had to leave the garden too because, I don't know, you can tell how big she is. Yeah. Big. Who knew? I thought it was just a little shrubby thing. And then we've got a Thai roselle. We got some marigolds and zinnias and gomphrena. This is a wild Mustang vine. And we have, what is this? Whatever that was, did not taste good. We have oregano, and we have cilantro, and we have English thyme, and then apparently this is just clover. I'll leave that. Beets, lots of beets. I'm not going to actually go in this bed because I don't want to walk on my beans and peas while they're trying to come up. In here is horrible, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen with those, but we'll hope for the best. This is more our iris patch. We've got marigolds, but I am really loving this iris bed. I did have a bunch bloom a couple weeks ago. They were all yellow, and they were all off one plant. But we've got lots of alyssum, so it smells really good over here. And then this is something. Is that mint or? Yeah, that's a mint right there. And then we have a mint in here, Beautyberry. And she just basically came back from the dead, and I feel like, oh yeah, there's some. Yeah. And a mullein, just for fun. And look at this. Did not expect these to come back from dead. They were just dead, but they're doing great. I have a stinging nettle in the corner here, and I have a tomato here. And then all along the mulch is okra and wild cucumbers. So those will be making cucumbers very soon. And look at that. Our desert willow is still kicking. It's been through several droughts and floods and freezes and everything. And so there's the view. Eventually I'll have big plants like all the way around my garden. Like the roselle here will be 6 foot by 6 foot. And where I don't have roselle, I have okra. And so for a nice summer border, I will have lots of okra, hopefully enough to take to market. And then along this shed, I have zinnias and a roselle. So that's it, friends. The entire tour of my tiny garden. I am loving my space. I am loving my life. I love my new career choice. And if you're near the Tioga area, we will be doing some classes coming up soon. The first one is going to be making your own herb blends. And I have partnered with a farm near me, and we are going to do an on-farm experience class event. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. And in the meantime, I'm doing videos and shorts. I'm still doing my markets. That is so much fun. And if you're ever in the Sanger, Tioga, Valley View area, come on out. I'd love to meet you and talk gardening, because mostly that's what I do at the market is I talk about how to raise these herbs that I put in my herb blends. And I'll even be doing a market up in Marietta, Oklahoma. So lots of fun things going on. I want to thank you for coming along with me on this journey. I appreciate you so much, and I look forward to sharing everything I possibly can in videos and shorts and at the market and in the classes. I just want to get the word out to people that have never heard how good gardening is. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.